What's up guys, welcome to Voicey here. This is your host, Captain Zach, and today's subreddit is r/EntitledParents. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode. This story's called, I'd rather give my kids drinks with chemicals in them instead of giving them McDonald's drinks. Alright, background info. I just started working at Starbucks. It's a great time. At my place, we close at 6. We do a call 5 minutes before closing for final drinks and to let customers know that they will need to leave when it hits 6. Because we need to clean the place and wash all the machines and chemically rinse certain things as you do with a coffee machine no matter where you are/work, I'm not too sure as I'm new, but I know it takes a tad to clean them and stuff. I'm cleaning the front, outside area, and my coworkers are out back doing money things and cleaning dishes. Here's the cast. There's me, Entitled Dad, Cute Kid 1, and Cute Kid 2. They're semi-entitled, I blame the dad, and the super awesome shift manager. So it's 6:10 p.m. and we have officially closed. My coworkers and I are cleaning the store, the signs have been brought in, the chairs inside are all stacked, the food has been put away, you can clearly see that there is nothing out and that everything is clean. I'm finishing bringing in the last of my tables from outside the store, and as I'm about to close the door, 2 cute kids run inside. They're probably about 5-ish and 7, and in comes their dad behind them. Oh, are you guys closed? Yeah, sorry. We closed at 6, we're just finishing up cleaning. Well, your door was open, so I guess you're not closed, am I right? Lucky us, eh, boys? Sorry, the door was open so we can bring in all the outside furniture. And I was just closing it before your children ran inside. Sorry, could you please ask them to stop playing with the merchandise? It breaks easily. Sorry. Well, that's completely unacceptable. As a business, if your doors are open, you are still expected to serve customers. You can do a couple of drinks for us. It's only us 3. No big deal. I'm sorry, but all the equipment and produce have been put away and cleaned. The machines are currently going through their cleaning cycle, so I don't think we can make you a drink. If we made you a drink, it would not be consumable as there would be cleaning chemicals, and so on. And we've already cashed up for the night, so the till and FPOs aren't working. Once again, I'm not too sure since it's not my job to clean the machines, but I told him what I knew and I knew that the drinks could not be made. Are you saying you won't make us any drinks? Just give them the drinks, I'm sure they will be fine. I can't believe this. I promised my boys some hot drinks and I need a coffee after such a hard day at work. Just make us our drinks and we'll head off. I'm really sorry about this, but we can't make you any drinks. They wouldn't be consumable at this time. I think there is a McDonald's a minute down the road. You'd be able to get some drinks there. As I said this, he got a lot closer to me. I'm about 5'4", and he was probably at least 6'1", and he pretty much just started to yell in my face. Why would you tell me to go to McDonald's? I am not that cheap and my kids deserve better. The drinks are horrible there and not good for kids. Stop whatever you're doing and make our orders. Your customer service is horrendous. Is anyone else here? By this time, my other coworkers had noticed this loud noise and had come out anyway. My shift manager comes up to the guy and says pretty much the same things I did at the start and then says, Look, we've been closed for 20 minutes now, sir. Please leave my coworker alone as she has done nothing wrong. Please stop trying to intimidate her into getting your way. I can point you in the right direction to where you can get your drinks or you can get out of the store. The entitled dad looked pretty flustered by having a male come out and tell him what's what. So he tells the kids to go, and as he leaves, he slams the door. So my shift manager is pretty cool, and I'm happy I didn't have to deal with him any longer. You see, at a certain point when you're trying to prevent someone from poisoning themselves, you should just give in, let them buy the drink it, die, and then give them the Darwin Award. This story's called Racist Entitled Mother Wants Me to Give Her Precious Baby My Phone Because I'm Colored and Probably Stole It. Police get involved and I'm apprehended. Just for background, I'm a half-black woman who grew up in a ghetto and worked darn hard through high school to earn a scholarship and full ride through college. I now work a very decent job and make a reasonable amount of money, which I'm not afraid to show off, though I do maintain my ghetto heritage. Naturally, racism is a touchy subject for me. So here I am minding my own business in a local coffee place answering some emails on my new Samsung Note 10. Day off, so I'm not dressed particularly well. Hoodie, sweatpants, you know the deal. Enter the cast. Entitled mother. Generally snooty looking, like she was trying really hard to look wealthy, but nothing she had on was actually valuable. Obviously fake jewelry, etc. Entitled kid. Maybe 12, 13, large. I'm positive he had some kind of autism or Asperger's due to his general mannerisms and, screeching. I noticed that entitled mom and entitled kid are staring at me. Not a big deal, especially since this is an upper class area and I'm, me with my demeanor. Eventually, entitled mom and entitled kid walk over to me and entitled mom says, "Yo, where did you get that?" I bought it? How? How do you think? People like you can afford phones like that. You must have stolen it. At this point, I'm sort of in shock and speechless. She follows up with, "I should report you to the police, but I'm willing to let this go if you hand the phone over to my precious baby son now." Why would I do that? Because you stole it and don't deserve it. You're not getting my phone, baseball pitcher. At this point, the manager, supervisor, assertive staff member, I'm not sure, but I'm calling a manager from here, walks over after noticing the situation and tries to calm everyone down. "Ma'am, I need you to keep it down. This is a coffee shop." "This woman called me a bench after stealing my son's phone." "Wait, what?" "I want a full refund, my phone back, and some compensation." "Ma'am, you need to give her phone back or I'm calling the police." "But it's my phone." "That's my son's phone, you bench." "Ma'am, that's clearly not your phone. I will call the police if you don't give the phone back." At this point, entitled kid is screeching. I can't really make out what he's saying, but he's reaching for my phone. Having dealt with racism all my life, I began to go off at all three of them, so naturally the police were called. The police immediately apprehended me, and only me, and confiscated my phone. They also took entitled mom, entitled kid, and manager's statements before taking mine last. All three of them told the cops an exaggerated version of events. At this point, you'd have thought I was some homeless black person who just mugged a 13-year-old if you believe the story they told. I gave them my statement and told them I would refuse to cooperate any further until they checked security footage. The coffee shop refused to let them check since as far as they were concerned, it was clear I was a thief and I'd been apprehended, so what's the point? Eventually, the security footage was checked after several minutes of convincing and everything became very awkward after that. The police awkwardly apologized and even went out of their way to say, "We weren't looking on racial stereotypes, just responding to the scene that was reported." None of the coffee shop staff actually said anything to me once I was apprehended. Guess I'm not going back there now. Entitled kid never stopped screeching even as I left after being released from police. Entitled mother seemed completely unfazed by the security footage, continuing to claim that I must have stolen it from someone else because my type can't afford those phones. So that was another day off, ruined by entitled parents and racial profiling. I wish I could say I was surprised by the absolute gall of that woman, but to be honest, I've experienced so many of these situations, nothing surprises me anymore. Alright, I have two things to say about this. One thing, if it's real, this is horrible, I feel really bad for this person, and this should not happen anymore at least. And the other thing, if it's fake, don't make stories like these because it really distracts people from actual experiences like this, you know? But I will not say whether or not it is real or fake because I know that annoys you people. Wait, I didn't mean... This story's called Entitled Mom Wants My Device, which literally keeps me alive so her precious baby teenager won't be bored. Background info. I'm a type 1 diabetic and have had diabetes since I was 11. And no, I did not get diabetes because I was fat. It is genetically inherited. I have a machine that basically supplies me with medication every second of every day to keep my blood sugar stable. When I eat food, I have to type in the amount of carbohydrates in the meal into the machine, and I'll be given a dosage of my medication via this. The device is centered around my stomach and is hidden by my shirt until I have to manually type in the carbs to the device. The device is called an insulin pump. If my explanation on what it is not clear enough, you can search insulin pump on Google and read or look at images there. I need this device, no two ways about it. Now on to the story. Here's the cast. There's me, entitled mom, entitled kid, teenage crotch goblin, nice worker, police worker. So I'm out at a restaurant when my food order arrives. I have to type in the carbs on my insulin pump. When entitled mom and entitled kid get into the story, I see the entitled kid staring at me from another table when he says something to entitled mom, which I can't make out. The entitled mom comes up to me and says, "My son likes your phone. Give it to him and you can probably buy a new one later." I then reply, "This is a medical device. I'm type 1 diabetic. I need it to survive." "No, you're not. You're not fat enough." I try to explain that type 1 diabetes is genetically inherited, but I should have known entitled mom has half a brain cell. "Stop making up excuses and give it to him now." "Lady, I just want to eat. Please leave me alone." "Not until you hand over the phone." Me, quite annoyed now. "Please leave me alone or I will talk to the workers here." The entitled mom doesn't stop. So I go to the waiter who has been serving me, and before I get a word in, the entitled mom says, "He stole my kid's phone. Arrest him now." I tell the worker the whole story and show him that my insulin pump is not a phone, and lo and behold, the worker is also a type 1 diabetic. He tells the entitled mom to leave me alone or the police will be called. All the while, this is happening. Entitled kid has been screaming about the game he has been playing on his Switch and cursing at it and making a racket, bothering other customers. The entitled mom says, "I know the manager here. He will have you fired if you—" "Lady, the manager is my uncle. I have never seen you ever before. Leave this young man alone now before I have to ask you to leave." The entitled mom storms back to her table. Wait, you thought this was over? As entitled mom is walking back to her table, the entitled kid loses it. He seems to have lost whatever game he was playing and flings his Switch at a framed poster against a wall where a couple was sitting, and the glass shattered over the woman's arm, causing bleeding. Everyone is furious. The police are called, and the entitled mom and entitled kid are taken away, and the couple are pressing charges, and everyone there got a coupon. Yay! I hope to never encounter this scenario again. Although it was a great feeling to see entitled kid and entitled mom being taken away. Okay, what? What? Okay, so apparently there are very stupid people in the world, and that reality just hit me like a truck. Wow. This story's called "Fat Shamed and Humiliated by Rich Kids and Their Mom. Get Satisfying Revenge." Here's the cast. Entitled mom, younger entitled kid, older entitled kid. Background. So, younger entitled kid and older entitled kid's dad is some big lawyer, so they are very wealthy. And his sons are super spoiled, especially younger entitled kid who thinks the world belongs to him, and they just think they are above everyone else. The mom is no better, as she just gives them whatever they want and doesn't control or discipline them. The dad is nice but super busy at work, and the children are usually looked after by a nanny who obviously doesn't discipline them enough. My family was close to theirs, and we would always go to their home for dinner parties or pool parties, etc. I hated the boys, but this event really set me off. This happened years ago, by the way. Story. We were at a dinner party at entitled mother's home, and I was super bored. None of my friends were there, and there wasn't really anyone my age, and I found the toys pretty lame to play with. Back then, my parents wouldn't get me an Xbox, thinking that a girl would only be interested in Barbies and stuff. But since entitled mother had no daughters, there were no Barbies. But they had this Nintendo DS thing that I asked to play with. Entitled mother wouldn't let me. Going through all that, "But you're a girl, you should play with the cooking set." But my mom convinced her to let me play. So I was playing and actually enjoying myself when I decided to play it outside because I'm just one of those weirdos that likes fresh air. All the boys were playing outside when older entitled kid spots me with the DS. "Hey, younger entitled kid, she has your DS." Younger entitled kid says, "I kid you not." "Ah, give it back, get off, it's mine, ah!" He starts crying and screeching like a pterodactyl, acting like I just smashed his console to the ground. Younger entitled kid literally jumps on me. I swear I'm not making this up. and starts pulling my hair and the DS and rips my dress. The older entitled kid is laughing and saying, "Get her, get her." Now I'm tearing up and all the boys are staring at me, so it's really embarrassing. I run to my mom, who tells entitled mom. Entitled mom hits me with that good old classic, "Boys will be boys." My mom asks her if she can tell her sons to give it back and to apologize, but she refuses, saying I shouldn't be playing on it anyways. "Lady, you gave it to me, and that maybe I'll learn not to go where the boys are." Due to religious reasons, the dinner parties are segregated, but all the kids were young, so it really wasn't a big deal. And entitled mom had no problem with it until this moment. My mom reminded her that I'm still young, so that's not really a reason. But entitled mom then made snide remarks about my weight. I was quite chubby, and how I looked older and more developed. I'm literally traumatized now, and my mom is fuming but doesn't say anything as she doesn't want to cause a scene. She tells me to just have a drink and calm down, but I was so upset and angry. Revenge. So I got my little revenge in two ways. First, younger entitled kid smugly walks into the room where I was and puts his DS on this high shelf. He leaves and I take it down, then hide it in this box full of toys in their toy room. That place was a mess and full of toys, so I knew he wouldn't find it. And after the party, when we got home, entitled mom messaged all the moms asking if they knew where younger entitled kid's DS was, because he couldn't find it and was going crazy. My mom suspected I had something to do with it, but didn't tell entitled mom. He already has a PlayStation, can't remember what number, and Xbox, so boo-hoo, was what she said to me. Revenge 2. Fast forward a couple of years and thankfully I've glowed up. Older entitled kid meets me randomly and asks me out. Most satisfying rejection I've ever given. Deuces. Yes, okay, so it's not every day that we get an entitled parent story with revenge tacked on, so that's always good. And, man, why would you tell someone that their kid is fat in front of everyone? That is very, very embarrassing and traumatizing. Let us know in the comments below if you've ever been publicly humiliated by someone else's parents. This story's called Entitled Mom Brings Her 4 Kids to an Adult-Only Wedding. I attended an adults-only wedding for a coworker a few days ago. The actual ceremony was in a very small church, so it was mostly family and close friends. But the reception was for roughly 250 people. The reception was at a very elegant hotel ballroom, not child-friendly in any way. Crystal stemware, expensive linens on the tablecloth, etc. About half an hour into the reception, a commotion started that made everyone stare. Entitled mother is arguing with the wedding planner loudly. Me, being the nosy broad that I am, inched closer to hear. Turns out, entitled mother brought her 4 young children to the reception even though the invitations clearly stated adults only. The entitled mother insisted that her kids were super well behaved, so it was fine. Now I'm guessing at ages, but the oldest one looked 8-ish and the youngest was under a year old. The wedding planner was having none of it. She insisted that the children were not allowed and she had to leave. In a last-ditch effort to get admitted, the entitled mother shouted at the bride. The bride went over and listened to her for a moment and then said in a syrupy, sweet voice, "Of course you can come in, entitled mother, but your children cannot." She turned on her heel and went back to her new husband. The entitled mother flipped a nut, yelling about how she was invited, couldn't find a babysitter, etc. 3 of the groomsmen escorted her and her children to the door. Alright, kids are cool and all, but why would you bring your children to a wedding when you were specifically asked not to bring children to the wedding? Now, if you can't find a babysitter for your children, I feel like if you're gonna bring them, at least call ahead and ask to make sure it's okay. Because weddings are a big deal to people, and stuff like that really just ruins the experience for everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.